The rumbling is here, and the island is swarming with titans. Is this the end for humanity outside the island? Let's talk all about that. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today for a new breakdown video of the latest episode of Attack on Titan. Before we even start, it is important to say that right now we have a missing chapter, chapter 123, as the anime seems to skip straight to chapter 124. This manga chapter holds crucial information that anime watchers are still not aware of, and as I promised, I will be talking about it in a future live stream, so don't forget to subscribe to get notified about that and about any future videos coming to my channel. And now, for this week's episode, Meltdown, also known as Thaw. The episode brings us back to Eren's message to the world, letting all subjects of Ymir across the world know that the rumbling is coming to kill everyone. On Marley, we see Annie's father and the rest of the Eldians after they just got that horrible message. On the ground in the island, Gabi and Reiner are searching for Falco. After a Titan Shifter first transformation, they usually lose their memory, so they must find him as soon as possible. Reiner tells Gabi that Connie and Jean took Falco. There is no chance they will ignore a new Titan Shifter, especially from the enemy side. Reiner also tells her that his armor broke down as soon as the walls did. Here is something important to say about hardening and Titan crystallization. There are several degrees of hardening in our story, from the walls surrounding the Titans, the armor of the Armor Titan, the crystallization ability of Eren, and up to the strongest one, which is the crystal ability of the Warhammer Titan, a crystal so strong it can only be broken by the Jaw Titan. All these are different degrees of hardening, and every one of them is falling apart at that moment. We will talk about it more later on this video. Another thing to point out is Reiner's condition. Reiner was always wishing to die, but at this point his condition is the worst we have ever seen, and that will be very visible in future episodes as well. He tells Gabi to use the backup airship and run away, but Gabi mentions the most obvious problem. There is simply nowhere to run. No safe ground in sight. And now, all of their families are going to die. Gabi refuses to give up. She promises Reiner she will bring everyone back. And pay attention to the scene in front of the mirror, similar to Eren when he was still in jail. Going back to our friends on the rooftops, we indeed see that the scouts capture Falco. They also notice that the Titans created by Zeke don't follow the rest of the Titans under Eren's command. And that brings up the question, what happened to Zeke? Jean can't believe that Eren actually did what he did, but here we get something new from Jean. He accepts the fact that Eren just sacrificed the entire world to save them, and we get a familiar scene from the previous season of Eren telling his friends how much they mean to him. That scene took place during the 4-year time skip. He knows that if all of humanity outside the walls will disappear, that will also eliminate hate once and for all. He also points out that the world brought that on itself by hating the Island Devils for years. Just so you know, Jean is not wrong here, and regardless of how devastating this entire situation is, some people on Marley will see that exactly the same way he does. The rumbling in its most basic sense is the response to that blind hate that the world cast on the island. A giant wave of titans to destroy every part of hate on the planet, and like you can see, it means also Eldians are going to die. This is not a question of race anymore. This is about nationality and defending their own island. In Jean's mind, they already missed their chance to stop Eren. What can they actually do now? Eren has the power of the Founder, and he can control every Titan and every subject of Ymir if he wanted. Jean offers that they use Falco to bring Pixies back to life, but Connie immediately tells them that they should feed him to his mom. To remind you, 4 years ago, the Beast Titan turned the entire Regako village into Titans. Connie's dad ended up in Kaya's village and ate her mom in front of her. On that day, Sasha saved her. His mom, on the other hand, was a Titan that couldn't move. She stayed on top of their house like that all this time, while Hanji and Connie visited and took care of her. We can see how aggressive Connie is about it. And since his breakdown about all of his friends betraying him, we can see a different Connie, as he grabs Armin and yells at him to not try and stop him. At this point, the Titans reach their location. Connie then grabs Falco and leaves, while the rest stay to fight the Titans. Back in the volunteer headquarters, The Titans are swarming and Yelena is wondering too about what happened to Zeke if his Titans are attacking them. The Titans breach inside and we get another very familiar scene from Season 1. On Season 1 it was Eren's Titan who saved them. This time is Keith Shadis. And here is something important you need to know. This is a highly trained soldier and a former commander of the Scouts. This man is an incredible soldier, far superior to any of the young cadets. And that is here to show you that he probably didn't really try to fight them back on the day they attacked him. There is obviously a good reason for him doing that, and that would be revealed probably on the next episode. But let me just tell you that Keith Shadis is a tremendous and an extremely good written character, and this season he will finally get his shining moment. He tells everyone that he didn't train them to just sit and watch, he orders them to follow him and to attract the Titans. Meanwhile, on the ground, Gabi manages to get to the Blouse family in time and to save Kaya from being eaten by a Titan, like her mom was years back. And did you see the bullet on that thing? This thing surely has some stopping power, as she manages to blow the Titan's nape by shooting in his mouth. We get a beautiful scene of Kaya seeing Sasha standing in front of her like the day she saved her. In case you didn't recognize him, this Titan was Nile Doc, the military police commander that let Falco go in the previous episode. Soon after, some scouts find them on the street, and to Gabi's surprise, the family lies to the soldiers, telling them they are all one big family. While the scouts lead them to safety, we see both girls share a moment, as Gabi admits that she was the devil all this time, simply because she killed people in order to get recognition. Niccolo then tells them both that they are all devils by now, and that is the reason the world has come to this. Like Sasha's father, also Niccolo says that they need to get out of this forest and to keep on trying until they make it. We go to Yelena facing a Titan and Mikasa saving her in the last second, killing the Titan that comes crashing into the window. Now that she can't find Zeke, Yelena is feeling lost. It seems like nothing affects her, as we see she hardly moves when the Titan drops next to her. Outside, Jean leads the scouts, telling them to gather the Titans so they could kill them all at once. Here is important to point out Jean's leadership skills, and we can see how he's slowly taking charge. This was actually foreshadowed by Marco in the first season, when he told Eren that Jean is a type of leader. Eren didn't agree with him back then, and now we can see what Marco was talking about. The scouts jump off the roof and kill all the Titans with thunder spears. At that moment, Keith Shadis and the cadets arrive with a swarm of new Titans following them, smashing into the building walls. Here we have one of the saddest moments in our episode, as our friends look horrified when they see pixies among the other Titans. After thanking the commander for everything he has done for them, the scouts swoop down for another collective attack, as Armin takes down Pixie's Titan for the last time, while thanking him for leading them so far. The scouts look at their destroyed island and the Titans that are still marching. Flock, who was able to survive the walls collapsing, congratulates Jean for leading everyone. He then stands up and points a gun at Yelena's head, surprising both Unyakumpon and Jean. From there, we go to the Blouse family hiding inside a little basement just as Mikasa and Armin arrive to find Gabi with them. Gabi tells them that she doesn't want to fight, she just wants to take Falco and leave, but she soon learns that Falco is about to be eaten by Connie's mom. She begs Armin to talk to Eren, to try to convince his friend to only attack military outposts and to leave innocent people out of it. She also begs him to ask Eren, his friend, to turn back Connie's mom into a human instead of sacrificing Falco. But Armin sadly tells her that he believes that Eren would have turned all the Titans back to humans if he could, or maybe if he wanted. Gabi starts crying and she mentions Reiner's armor being destroyed when the walls came down. And at that moment, Armin realizes something. He remembers that Eren said he would revoke all hardening on the island. He already knows what that means, and from there we go to the most anticipated comeback of a character that's been on ice since 2014. In one of the cellars, we see Annie Leonhardt, finally outside of her crystal. And that is where this amazing episode ends, covering chapter 124 of the manga entirely. What did you think about this episode? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Eren's actions is truly the only way to clean all 8 from the world? Let me know what you think, because I will be making a video giving you my personal opinion about that soon. And that is all for today, my Titan loving friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a little like if you enjoyed. I will be seeing you all real soon, and until then, don't forget to dedicate your hearts to humanity, inside and outside the walls.